You do know, every single output of this battle will end the exact same for you, Glass. Glass stands there in front of Naofumi and his party, in front of Philo and Raphtalia, and is debating how she wants to go about this. His strength is unheard of, and she doesn't even know how to truly approach this fight. Naofumi reaches out his hand and tells her once again that she does not want to go through with this battle, and that after all of this, she will sincerely know pain. Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Golden Falls Golden What If, whatever you want to call me, and I'm back with the finale of Naofumi, the legendary Rinnegan hero. This episode is titled End of Pain. So with that said, I hope y'all enjoy, and I hope y'all basically just enjoyed this overall with the new little thumbnails and stuff like that. And also make sure to leave a like, sub, and comment down below, and just leave any suggestions you got below as well. And with that said, let's just get right into the what if. Let's get it. Glass tries her best to fight back, but Naofumi and his party are overwhelming. Their strength is overwhelming. Frankly, they have no clue how to defend against this power that Naofumi is bestowing upon in front of her. Naofumi is practically toying with her, showing that he could do whatever he wants and it will still end in his victory. Immediately as Glass feels that she's getting some sort of advantage, Naofumi pulls her right back in using his almighty pull. He pulls her right toward Raphtalia as she slices part of her leg, and they begin to just chastise Glass. You're not ready for this. You should not be here. You expected this to be easy, but that is the last thing it would be. Glass realizes that this is not a winnable battle, that she will have to leave right now. As she tries to leave within the wave, let's just say Naofumi throws this chakra rod right at Glass, penetrating through her stomach as he pulls her right back, holding her by that rod and staring right into her face. You will not be leaving, but I will recognize your power and your strength. You will be used for me and for all of us. Truly, you will be powerful. Naofumi takes out the chakra rod and grabs the back of Glass's neck, and the rod begins to morph within her body, killing her, but also making her one of the pains, one of the 6 paths of pain. Well, Glass now being part of Naofumi, or at least the linkage between Naofumi can feel that his strength is slowly but surely weakening. It seems that he really does need to gain more and more strength to keep up with how much output the Rinnegan is currently using. But quickly, Naofumi is put slowly out of commission. He's put into a state where he can't necessarily do much, at least as of right now. He feels that he's limited, and he begins to pass off the power of his, the 6 paths to other people, which that includes, obviously, Raphtalia initially, Philo, Liam, Glass, and now he needs 2 others, and he decides that he would find them sooner or later. Luckily, Naofumi wouldn't have to wait very long until he can find some new, basically, people to make into one of the pains. Keel, someone that Naofumi and even Raphtalia have saved in the past, volunteers herself as well, and they all become one. 5 are there. 5 people are now connected to Naofumi, leaving just one last pain, one last path of pain, so Naofumi can more or less be at peace. Connecting himself to one last person would be difficult, and frankly would become extremely hard. he can't find anybody that he sees to fit. That's until he gets rumors of the Pope. The Pope is going to take over Melremark, and he wants to do something about it. So he summons the 5 paths of pain he currently has and sends them off toward the capital. When they arrive at the capital, Naofumi can more or less see through their eyes, watching the battle between the Pope and his legendary weapon or replica weapon, and all of the paths of pain that he currently has. They begin their onslaught upon him, and don't get me wrong, it was difficult and something very, very hard, but nonetheless, the advantage is always there, and Naofumi watches through the eyes of all the others as they defeat the Pope, and eventually just completely and utterly destroy all of his followers. The arrival of the Queen is then upon them. The Queen arrives and sees the defeat of the Pope and all the followers and asks who they are. They all kneel in front of her and say that they are 5 of the 6 paths of pain, and she asks where's the other 6th, but they quickly explain that Naofumi hasn't given someone that supposedly he's been waiting for somebody. And she's confused. Waiting? I've heard about this. I've gotten some information, but who would he be waiting for? Just as she's speaking about this, Naofumi then appears, slightly deterred basically upon arrival at the fact that, well, he can't really get around as easy as he used to. He grabs her by the back of the neck and just softly speaks to her. You are the next one. You are going to be someone of great use. Immediately, Naofumi begins to use a chakra rod to gain control over the Queen, and he now has a connection with her. But just as he does so, he slightly collapses and falls to the ground as Philo grabs him quickly and jumps off with him to a safe place. They all follow along, including the Queen, as the knights that are currently there are in complete and utter shock. When they arrive back in Schildfrieden, at a place that they know is safe and sound, he begins to sit there and wait patiently for something to happen. Naofumi waits some more, and eventually a woman appears in front of him, asking what he currently is doing. It's really simple. I'm just making this place safe. What are you doing, Miss Vittoria? Oh, so you know about me. I see. But what you're doing isn't necessarily making it safe, am I correct? I don't think you're correct at all. I think this world needs to know pain. And if they don't understand pain, then how could they end it? Vittoria doesn't know what to say, but Naofumi responds before she can even say a word. I can solve all of this for us. Solve the people's, more or less, pain. Solve their hunger. Solve their danger. The waves are nothing. They're nothing. The other heroes don't realize this. They are useless. And I think you even realize that. They are practically just walking dead bodies, which is ironic, I guess. Naofumi then stares down Vittoria and says that he is actually helping her, and that means a great deal. She questions how he even knows about her, how he even figured all this out, and he quickly explains that he has eyes everywhere. But he did figure it out. He figured out all the good things Vittoria has been doing and all the pain she has gone through herself, taken upon the pain of all these other countries to save them. Now that is honorable. Very honorable. But with that said, Miss Vittoria, I'm impressed. But I hope you're not here to defeat me of some sorts, because frankly, Naofumi snaps as all the pains arrive around Vittoria. I wouldn't want to enact any pain upon you, especially with all the good you do. What do you say? Vittoria looks around and nods as she goes to leave and says that what he's doing may seem off, But if the world is safe, the world is completely sound, then she won't question it. Naofumi nods and watches as Vittoria leaves. Just as she leaves, the queen kneels down, ironically enough, in front of Naofumi, and he tells her to stand up, that it's fine. She begins to explain that there is something coming up, a way of them leveling up, and that she's heard it from her kingdom, and that she got news of this relatively early, and that they will be able to go level up and gain experience points throughout this time. Naofumi nods and says that this will be a great way for them to level up and just, gain some experience as an entire whole. But, of course, their connection is perfect, so teamwork would not be a problem. Naofumi and his party, if you want to really call it that, which is Keel, Liam, Rautalia, Philo, Glass, and the Queen, arrive in Kalmyra. When they arrive in Kalmyra, they begin their training, basically destroying more and more of this area, and Naofumi uses multiple or really strong attacks to destroy and level up at insane speeds. The more he's leveling up, the easier it is actually getting to fight alongside everybody else using his Rinnegan. But at the same time, it is putting an insane strain on him. It's as if keeping all 6 of these people, the 6 paths of pain, coherent all the time drains him at an immense rate. Even with his leveling system keeping up with that idea, it still is struggling, even with him at a level of almost 90. Naofumi realizes that it will be a while until he's actually able to coherently fight with them at a good rate, so he'll stay back and more or less just give them commands and give them another pair of eyes. He decides to do this as they're continuing their training and actually gaining XP for him while he's sitting down relaxing. But just as he's doing this, he hears something from behind him. Some roughage or some ruffling in the grass, and immediately a scythe goes swinging out, about to slice Naofumi's head off. But just as it does this, a hand is right in front of it. It's Keel. Keel is standing in front with a robotic-like hand, machinery-like hand, and the scythe gets pushed back and forcing the person holding it to get thrown into a tree. Naofumi shakes his head. You are seeking revenge. It seems as if you lost somebody. Now, who have you lost? Right after he says this, a blast is sent his way by a woman by the name of Therese. Lark and Therese have now arrived to actually take them out. Naofumi turns toward them both and shakes his head, saying that this is not a good idea for them to do. This is probably the worst idea. And if I'm assuming, you're with Glass. Unfortunately, you could say Glass isn't here anymore. She's with me. Sorry to break it to you. They begin to basically continue their onslaught, trying to hit Naofumi, trying to strike him, but nothing is working. Naofumi is practically on a whole nother level. They thought that this might be the best chance for them to take him out, but maybe waiting for the wave to come in Kalmyra would have been a better idea. They're not so sure, but they are forced to retreat. But just as Lark and Therese are retreating, Naofumi pulls Therese back and holds her up by her neck. You really thought you could leave that easily? Come on. Seriously? Why would I let you leave? That is ridiculous. You both are ridiculous. Just as Naofumi is about to kill Therese, an arrow hits him in the hand and makes him slowly drop her. Oh, and now the other heroes have arrived. The other paths of pain step in front of the heroes, but Naofumi waves them off, saying to not worry about them. He then stands up and cracks his neck and says that he's been kinda weakened the last couple days, but this should be a good warm-up. Naofumi begins fighting all of them. And when I mean all of them, I mean all of them. The battle is very technical, very serious. Therese is basically there for backup and supports. Lark is there to take the front lines. But let's just say the spear, the bow, and the sword hero are nowhere near even the level of Therese and Lark. The swords, bow, and the spear hero are basically nothing. Naofumi has said this over and over again, that they are practically useless. That this whole place is practically useless. And Kalmira seems a bit too happy, especially with a wave approaching. Just as he begins to say this, the sky begins to change to that dark purple color, and Therese and Lark even get slightly stronger, but not to the point where they can even eclipse the numbers advantage and or the strength of Naofumi and the 6 paths of pain. Naofumi looks at all of them and watches as the fight unfolds. Everyone begins to attack him, but he's able to easily dodge, and he even is able to make duplicates of himself to more or less back him up. After being able to back himself up and defeat these so-called heroes, he watches as they struggle to their feet. You see, Lark and Therese are standing for a reason. They're trying to get revenge for their comrade, the comrade that is watching them die. These other 3 heroes, you all 3 are practically useless. I mean, seriously, you really are. How dumb can you 3 be? The truth is always found out, and that is a promise. Naofumi then looks behind him and nods as the Demon King himself appears from the ground, grabbing the tongues of all of the heroes there. And they begin questioning them about their morals, questioning if they should live. Naofumi stands there and questions every last one of them about what their intentions are, what they believe. What does Motoyasu, what does Ren, and what does Itsuki think this world even is? Do they think it's some video game where if you die, you get to restart? Or do they think that they're affecting every last person here, causing them pain? But unfortunately, they aren't feeling any backlash from it. They're not feeling the pain these other people are because of their actions. Naofumi watches as, more or less, they begin to get questioned these things, forcing them to tell the truth. And when they do, and after everything is said and done, their tongues go back to normal and they fall and collapse to the ground as the giant statue, or the Demon King statue, begins to sink back beneath the earth, or the ground itself. Naofumi stands above them with his hands on his hips, looking dead into their faces. Now, you all have something I want. What do you want? Motoyasu asks, and even Ren and Itsuki question that. Lark even asks him why would he even say something like that. It's not like they even could give him anything. But you can. I want your lives. I want you to feel pain. Because once you do, the end of all pain in this world will be over. Naofumi and his party, all the other 6 paths of pain, begin to float into the air. He raises his hands as something big is about to happen. Naofumi then creates this black hole, this weird gravitational pull, this black orb that is sucking everything and everyone to it. As it does just this, he watches as the buildup of the earth creates some sort of giant planet. Naofumi puts his hands out and focuses with all his will. The other pains do the exact same. As in sync, they say 2 words: planetary devastation. Naofumi then crashes that giant piece of rubble, the giant planet-like sphere, onto the ground, shattering, destroying everything in Kalmira. The wave that is upon them is currently happening, but Naofumi wants to deal with this first. As the fish monsters and the giant monsters are finally upon them and begin to attack people, Naofumi and the 6 Paths of Pain dive in, destroying, killing, and slaughtering every last one of them. As they watch as the wave begins to fade away and the deaths of the other heroes is finally upon them, Naofumi wonders how this will affect in the future. Vittoria brought up something about the other heroes dying, but frankly, he doesn't see a problem with it. And if there's a small chance they even survived in that giant attack, well, maybe they deserve it. They felt enough pain. Maybe. Naofumi leaves, once again, leaving Kalmyra and going to Melromark to check up on what's occurring over there, telling everybody that the death of the 3 other heroes is upon them, but he will make sure that they feel no pain anymore. Naofumi leaves 1 path of the pain there and decides that he will reside in Shield Frieden as the others enact his plan, his want for this world. Naofumi sits on a throne in Shield Frieden, waiting for the next wave to arrive, as the other Paths of Pain gain experience and other things for him specifically. As he waits, he gets calls from multiple places. For one, the Queen tells him that he is the lord of a place that one of his party members actually resided at long ago, by the name of Raftalia. He takes over that area and can use that as a home base when he comes to Melromark. Naofumi thanks her for the information and begins to listen to various other things that are occurring. Naofumi waits longer and longer, but it seems like nobody is in frame to face him. Naofumi has ended it all. Ended the pain in this world, or at least that's what he hopes for now. But nonetheless, he is here, and he is here for a reason. With these eyes, he sees all, and with these eyes, he can protect and or bring pain to everybody if he sees fit. Naofumi Iwatani, the legendary Rinnegan hero, is a staple for this world, a protector, but also the one who will end pain itself. That is a wrap for What If Naofumi, or Naofumi the legendary Rinnegan hero. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, sub, comment down below, and leave any suggestions you have for future what ifs. If you like the new titles, I mean, it's not too big. If you like the new thumbnails, let me know. I like the new thumbnails. I like the new idea of the title. It gives a little more pizzazz, as if we're watching an actual movie type of thing. You know what I mean? I like it a lot, and I'm gonna keep using them as long as it doesn't hurt my viewership or anything, and it doesn't seem to have. I'm gonna keep tinkering a little bit more with the titles, with the descriptions, because I want to expand this kingdom. I want to expand our community the best I possibly can. That's the goal, more or less, in this journey for YouTube. Meet some crazy good people along the way. Like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all leave a like, sub, comment down below, all that good stuff, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.
I don't wanna waste what's left.